So if it's bad, let it go. Period.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to another video, girl talk video. Today, as you guys can see, I brought my mom back to my channel just to have a girl talk around singleness and dating. If you are new here, please do not forget to subscribe and like and comment. Y'all feedback is needed and valued, so don't forget to leave comments about this girl talk. And if you guys want to see more content like this, please let me know in the comments as well. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So to start, I just wanted to pretty much touch base on okay, what was each other's singleness journey, and you know, working through our own problems and our own things of growth before meeting our person, which I haven't met mine yet, y'all, but I'm just speaking for my mom. So I'm gonna let her just give you guys a rundown of her singleness, how that journey was, and now she's about to get married in less than 2 months. So yeah.
Well, I think for me, one of the biggest things I think a lot of people don't do is when they get out of a relationship, you don't really take the time to really discover who you are and who you are single. Yeah. It's all seasons. It's all seasons of your life. So, you know, coming out of almost a 9-year relationship, I was like, wow, I need a pause. I need a pause. I need to tap into my own journey and my own path, because as women, we naturally gravitate to our significant others, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We want to pour into them and make sure they're good. So I took about 2 years to really just rediscover me. And that's hard because, you know, social media, your peers, you know, people are having families, they're getting married. But it was just I literally had to reel myself back in every time I was like, well, maybe I'm ready. And I'm like, no, taking the time to really heal and that inner child. Because I feel like a lot of people do not take the time to do that, and which always shows up in your womanhood or your manhood, not healing things that have happened to you way before your last spouse. So that is the biggest advice that I can give people, is to really take time for yourself, rediscover yourself, learn what you love, what you hate, learn to enjoy your own company, your own, you know, energy. You don't need an audience all the time. And I think Javanna's doing a great job with really taking time to rediscover herself, to define herself, to refine herself. And whoever the lucky man is, whoever he end up being, he's gonna get a whole woman. Okay, she's really taking the time to heal, and I think that's so important. Anyway, this your channel.
I know, but I was okay, what was your biggest lesson for yourself in your singleness? Because I feel like everyone's lesson is different.
My biggest lesson was learning who I was and not who everyone else said about me. So that was my biggest lesson, is wow, I am dope. Wow, I can walk in who God has called me to be unapologetically. Yeah. And those who stick around, they'll stick around, and those who don't,
yeah.
You know? So that was my biggest lesson.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing your experience and your journey, which I've learned a lot from you throughout my entire process. So I would just say transitioning from being in a long-term relationship to being single was a challenge for me. And I had moved into my own place and not in my comfort zone anymore. So I feel a lot was happening all at once. But I think at the end of it all, I appreciate my time to myself. I'm cool. But I've learned that I do need human connection. I do need to get out more, being around other people, and not completely isolate myself. And I think my biggest lesson being single is to, one, absolutely love myself. more than like I love other people. Like that is my huge lesson. I feel like we give so much to other people and we leave ourselves feeling empty. We leave ourselves feeling like, you know, damn, like I don't have enough to like love on me today. Like I didn't prioritize nothing that I wanted to do today because I'm giving to other people. And so for me, I have really valued just learning about myself, like she said, and like knowing my worth, and like saying no when you want to say yes. Like simply just saying no. Like this does not align with me, and I'm cool with like being by myself a little bit longer until God blesses me with someone that is aligned with where I'm going and where I'm at currently. And so that is always my biggest prayer, that I pray for someone that can love me and be supportive of me in my now season and the seasons to come, because we change.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted her to share her whole journey, and then you guys shared some topics in particular that you guys wanted us to touch on, so we're gonna move into that. And I just want to say thank you guys for submitting all of your topics, because that means you guys really engage with my channel, and I don't take it lightly, so thank you. All right, so the first one is it okay to go a day without talking when you're dating someone? Absolutely not. It's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay. Like, and if that's the case, communicate why you're not talking to me for a full day.
I agree with that. I mean, especially one thing I will say is that stay consistent in your routine. Like if you're interested in someone, like don't ghost them for 20 hours, or don't ghost them at night. If you're really truly interested, I think there's something to be said. Hey, like I'm hanging out with my boys, or I'm hanging out with my girls, I'm gonna be unavailable. That's not really checking in. It's just being responsible and respectful.
Yeah.
Because
especially if you say you're interested in someone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the answer is no. The answer is no. A hard no. Life after a breakup. I think we both touched on this
right
a little bit, but I think it looks different for everyone. I feel like you could be getting out of something that really drained you, and it now feels like refreshing to be by yourself, or you can be taking it really hard to let someone go and it just be hell, trying to discover you and a life, like creating a life that's different. I think for me, even in my singleness, I feel like, let me move on. It looks different for everyone. What do you have to say?
For me, life after a breakup, I feel like people a lot of times are in relationships that they know that's not going to work, but it's easy to stay in a relationship to be distracted, so you don't have to work on yourself. So
that's tea. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Seriously, right? Like we want to take on everyone else's stuff so that we really don't have to dig deep and heal and make amends with our own stuff. So I think when you are outside of it, most people, they jump right back into another relationship, because working on that inner child, it is not easy.
It is so hard.
It's hard. It's a challenge. But I learned today in church that God expects us to produce, to be fruitful. And we can't do that if we're so caught up in someone else's stuff that we're not producing.
Yeah.
So if it's bad, let it go. Period.
That's gonna be, yeah, that's cute. Anyways. All right, next topic. Premarital live-in situations. I can't relate to this,
So for me, all my religious people out there, I was in a previous marriage, and I did not live with this person before getting married. And I'm like, Lord, that was the worst mistake of my life, my path. So I can't speak for anybody else, but I knew that in order for me to be married again, that's a situation between God and I. And I lost friendships. I lost people who I thought was in my corner because they're religious. They, you know, everybody got to have all their checks as boxes in their opinions, right?
We call it Bible thumpers.
But I knew what I needed for me, and I'm still getting married. I'm still marrying the man that God gave me and saved for me. So every situation's different. Do you?
Yeah. Like I said, I can't relate to the topic, but I personally feel like it's important. Because one,
what's important?
I guess having that experience with someone prior to like a long-term commitment. Like marriage is not something that I think we take lightly. So like,
no.
You know, especially me, because I'm just not. That's a huge ask. So I feel like it's important to like know your person like in and out, like live with them. I feel like people are different when you like live separately. Mm-hmm. You don't see the raw, like, you know. So I think I personally would go for it if I was in that situation. That's just me. And then, like she said, like that's your like whatever that looks like, that's between you and God, and you know what I'm saying?
Nobody else.
Yeah. So moving on. This next person said, what does communication mean to you when you're in a relationship?
Everything. And if you can't communicate, you don't need to be in a relationship. That's the first rule of thumb in any relationship. You know, it don't even have to be man-woman. It could be a girlfriend, a business relationship. If you don't have communication, or if you can't communicate, learn how to effectively communicate and be, you know, vulnerable to say, I need help communicating. Like that's a struggle for me, and then work on that. But to just hold back, not speak your piece, has definitely been one of the hardest things that I've done. It's being a yes person. Excuse me.
Or passive.
Yeah. Passive aggressive.
Yeah.
No, that does not last.
I think, and y'all know, my channel know, y'all know I'm in therapy because we got to work on this, you know what I'm saying? So I think for me, like, I feel that, like, if I'm not choosing vulnerability, we were just talking about this, but if I'm not choosing to be vulnerable, if I'm not choosing to, like, say how I feel, one, I'm neglecting myself in what I want, and two, I'm also, like, you know, like, doing the other person a disservice by not being truthful. Absolutely. And not myself. And so I feel like you can't win not communicating. Like, if you don't communicate how you feel, you and the other person is like, you're just not, it's not gonna work, because they feel some type of way, you feel some type of way, and you just want to hold back because you feel like you're protecting them, when really you're hurting yourself, and you're pretty much probably sitting in a situation that you probably shouldn't be in, because, like, why don't you feel like you can communicate?
Well, you need to ask yourself, why don't I have a safe place in order to communicate?
Right.
Like
safe and yeah, exactly. Yeah. So communication is key. The next topic is privacy. I'm not sure what this person meant. This is very vague. Singleness and dating. Privacy. I'm very a private person, so I feel like if I open my space up to you, like, I'm into you. But if I'm not, like, we're not aligned. That's
that you gonna remain a mystery?
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer that.
I don't know what they meant by privacy. I guess you're saying, like, if we're dating someone, like, how do we deal with privacy, or like stuff that we want to keep
to yourself?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like if I gotta hide something from my person, I shouldn't be doing it, thinking about it, or whatever.
You're not being truthful.
Yeah. So this next person said, how important is it to enjoy your singleness? What is it like to be comfortable being single? Being that I'm still single, I would just say I'm not comfortable being single. It actually, but I've prayed to like embrace it. So there's a difference. I feel like being comfortable is like you're okay with it and you don't see yourself in a relationship. You're not making the effort to be in a relationship, and that's not me. I feel like I'm asking God to help me embrace it until he sends me my person. And I think it is important to enjoy it while you're in it, because you're discovering yourself, and I feel like that's probably the best time of your life to figure out what you want, what you like, what you don't want, what you don't like, what you deserve, what you don't deserve, and then the healing, of course. And I feel like if you don't embrace it, I feel like, or enjoy it rather, you're doing yourself a disservice during a time that you should be growing and learning about yourself.
I agree. I mean, for me, I loved being single after I got past a lot of hurt. And it's because I started to fall in love with myself and spending time with myself, and not having to be held accountable by anyone but God. Like, that's a great place. And I think that, like, especially millennials, like, you guys are in a hurry.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. I agree.
And it's like you have so much
We don't
life.
have time. We don't have time.
You have so much life. You have so much that you owe to yourself to truly just enjoy being able to wake up, do what you need to do for you, and not 2 kids crying, oh, you know, you got the husband that needs help, and like just really truly like, man, like I am such in a good space. I love being with myself. I can pack my bag and fly across country if I want to and have no one to be held accountable to. And I never really like understood how important that was until I really truly walked in my singleness. So if you're struggling with it, find out why, and then ask the Lord or pray about whatever it is that reason is, because it's a reason why. And a lot of times it's the inner child. So always start there.
I feel like I struggled for a very long time. I feel like I'm still... Would you say I'm struggling with singleness?
No, I don't think you're struggling. I just think that
I'm in a rush, apparently.
For whatever reason.
I don't mind being by myself. I do not mind. Like, I'm okay with like coming home to my own space. I'm okay with like having a friend and they gone about their business when I'm ready for them to go. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm cool with having my space. I've always been a person that I love my space. I love being by myself. But it doesn't mean that like I'm enjoying it. Like,
that's exactly you. If you love it, you enjoying it.
Okay, I guess I'm enjoying my singleness, y'all. So, but anyways,
yes, you are.
Moving along. All right, next question. This isn't a question, but someone said, "Why people lie for no reason?" I don't know, sis.
Narcissism.
They need to be in therapy. I don't know why people lie for no reason. I don't know. I can't help you. The next topic is toxic masculinity, and I asked this person what they meant by this, and they said, okay. You're petty. Okay, he said how hyper toxic men are destroying dating. And so I took it as why men are like so quick to self-sabotage, but I feel like women do too. So I feel that...
But we're talking about men.
Okay.
That's the question, right?
It was men, or toxic masculinity.
Yes.
I personally feel like it starts with the dating apps. I feel like men are just so shallow. Not all men, but I feel like some men are very shallow on dating apps. I feel like they don't take it serious. And I feel that they approach women and with no intentions of like being in a long-term relationship. They date you, do all this stuff, and then it just never goes anywhere. And I feel like that's toxic masculinity, and it starts with the dating apps for me. You?
The only thing that resonates with me with that topic is they want to be in control. They want to basically, they're not healed, so they pick on women. And it's almost like a bullying tactic, in my opinion. Wow. Instead of just like being a man and say, you know what, I probably shouldn't try to date right now until I get myself together. And it's hard for a man to be vulnerable because their ego and pride, those two things typically run the show, especially for men that have been hurt and not healed. So I think it kind of all aligns in that category.
And I think a lot of men are just so opposed to therapy, and I just don't get it. Like, I do not understand.
And the thing is, sorry, I got cut you
No,
off.
you're okay.
But I think for men, they think therapy is something that's weak. But I recently learned that when you may not need a quote-unquote therapist, but you do need a male figure that you trust, that you look up to, and that you respect as a man. Yeah. Someone who's been there, done that, have gone through the things, because it's like, why reinvent the wheel? Like, why, struggle and deal with things on your own when you really don't have to? And if you don't have that person, pray about it or seek it out. Men think that, they're less than a man if they ever need any help with anything. And it's actually the opposite. It's the ones that don't ever ask, that struggle. Those are the ones that's weak. Like, a real man they're gonna have a mentor, they're gonna have a counselor, they're gonna have people in their life that they can that will pour into them as they pour into others. So it's not cool, it's ugly, and a lot of them have mama issues, but that's a whole nother topic.
I think it's daddy issues.
No.
I really feel like it's a disconnect. I think mommy issues does have a play into it, but I also feel like as far as not having a mentor and not wanting to utilize their resources that God has given us all.
I think it could be a little bit of both.
Yeah, I feel like, if you're not connected with your father, I feel like they're like, oh, I got to do it myself and pick up the pieces and be a man. And, but it's like, you have brothers, like people that God has given you, like you have brothers to talk to, you have people to connect with, get advice from. And I feel like, when a man is not healed, they bring that into, like, hurt people. I'm gonna just say that.
Basically.
And it only damages the person that did absolutely nothing to you, like, legit. So that's that. That is all the topics that we have today. I hope you guys enjoyed this girl talk and just us talking about singleness, dating, and so if you guys like this video, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and let my mom know how she did, y'all. If y'all want to see more content with her on my channel, let me know, and we will see you guys next video. Bye.